Okay, but you can't observe atheism.
Well, you can observe the lack of evidence of there being a God.
How do you observe that?
I've yet to see any evidence of it.
Love and life, like feeling.
Jesus has not
can't
revealed
observe
himself
feelings.
to me. Jesus has revealed himself on earth before, right? He's supposed to be coming back.
Right. But what about the connection that you have with your daughter? There's something that you feel. It's a different feeling. When you look into her eyes, there's a different feeling that you get than when you look into my eyes or something like that. That's
That
a
doesn't
feeling. That's
lead
something.
me in the direction of believing
But
in
I'm saying
God
like
at
you
all.
can't observe that. That's not something but it's something that you feel and that your daughter feels and that everybody in the room, like that's energy. That's not something you can describe, but it is real.
I could describe it.
But you can't see it. And you're talking about you can't observe God. You can't observe that feeling either.
If I was going to believe in God, I would need a reason, right? Like, especially a specific religion, like Christianity. Like, the idea of believing in a God is one thing. The idea of believing in this specific God based on this book, that of which its origin seems very dubious to me, that I have a real problem with.
Maybe you don't have to believe in a specific religion, but the idea of God, I think, is good to follow.
See, this is the degradation of what it actually means to be religious. Because when I was talking to my mom recently, and I asked her, when you were a kid, what did it mean to be religious? And she said that if you didn't believe in heaven and hell, that nobody would have considered you a Christian.
Yeah.
If you didn't believe that the Bible was the direct word of God, then there's no way that anybody would have considered you a Christian or religious. These days, people give themselves credit for being religious just by saying, I believe in God. Yeah, like I'm the kind of person that believes in God, etc. And they spend no time reading the Bible or familiarizing themselves with these texts or they're going to church or trying to familiarize themselves with how God would want them to live their life or whatever. They just say they're religious and then they just move on with it.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Why
It's
is
just
that
such a
stupid?
surface level engagement with something that's supposed to, if God is real, it should be like the most important thing in your life. You should spend all your time thinking, if I believed that God was real, I would spend all my time trying to get closer to knowing exactly what God wanted for me.
That seems like a waste of time.
Why? If there was a supernatural being that was controlling the universe?
Or you should understand that life is the way it is and it's just better to follow that. You don't need to constantly seek it because that's going to drive a lot of people insane.
If there was a God, it would be the most fascinating thing in the whole world. If there was even a hint of evidence of him existing, it would be the most insane thing in the world. Instead, like religious studies are like the most boring thing in the world because there's nothing to sink your teeth into.
Have you ever met the people that watch Plug Talk?
Sometimes. I would assume it's a lot of the same people that watch No Jumper in general, so it's probably not that different.
What are they like?
Just regular people.
They see people that you would hang out with?
I know a lot of people who watch porn, like really almost everybody.
You watch porn? Yeah. You do?
Yeah.
Do you watch porn? No. Do you watch porn? Yeah.
A couple minutes here and there. You don't watch it? You're not fascinated?
I don't watch porn. I used to a lot. I used to be addicted to it.
Oh, you were addicted. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what addicted is, but I used to like watch it every day.
I've never even been close to feeling like I was out of control of
I wasn't out of control. I wasn't like obsessed with it, but I would watch it. There'd be times like, all right, time to go to bed, open up Reddit, and then look at the specific subreddit and then fall asleep. It was routine.
Right.
And I think that was a problem.
Let me tell you, when I was young, I was watching porn just because I hadn't seen any of this, and like the idea that I could see a woman get fucked in the ass on the internet once that became an option when I was like 16 or whatever was like the most mind-melting thing on earth. Like, how is this possible that I'm actually going to be able to see this? I just needed to see it.
And then you become desensitized to it very quickly.
Yeah, after like a couple of years when I was young, by the time I was like 20 or 21, I noticed myself not really watching porn and just kind of beating off to like actual sexual experiences I've had. But then I moved to LA and I start like fucking random porn stars and meeting girls. Like I meet a girl at the club and I know she does porn. I have to go home and search her on Pornhub and find her content and beat my meat to it. I'm sorry. If I meet her in real life and she's done double anal on the internet, I have to see it. Which I don't know why that matters so much.
Yeah, why do you have to see
like
it?
if I've shook her hand, I need to see her do anal. I'm sorry, that's just where I'm at.
You're not shaking that hand and feeling the butthole on it. Like you're not.
I want to see it.
I get grossed out by that.
Why?
I get a little grossed out by that.
Anal?
not by anal, but even just now today we were doing 1 minute podcast interviewing people, and these two girls sat down and they're like, we're cam girls. And they're both like, yeah, you can't do it. And like her nipples kind of like poking out of her shirt, and she's saying, well, you need to tip me to see it. And I could still see it. And I'm just like, I don't like, go away. Like you're a little gross. It's just the way they're sitting and acting and moving and like knowing what they do for, it's just.
Yeah, I feel you. Some girls are really fucking annoying about it.
Yeah. Like they have a lack of personality. They're not based in reality
girls
at
who
all.
talk about getting tipped or like telling people to subscribe. You know, those clips always go viral. Girls like on Twitch, like if you don't subscribe, I'm gonna get off. Bleh. Or like I love the women posting their L's online or whatever, Twitter, and they'll always have like a screenshot of some girl complaining about how she got into OnlyFans and she made like $30 a month and how she hates it and she's gonna cancel it. And it's like,
imagine posting your butthole and making no money off of it, like failing. Your
it's just such a sad story.
Like sometimes, like your business venture, right?
Yeah.
Like I understand, like if you wanted to invest in like the Uber for crypto or whatever.
I know I should feel bad for her,
but then imagine your butthole failing.
Yeah, dude.
What else are you gonna do? Like, how do you bounce back from that? You tried everything. That's the last resort, and it failed. It's like, what's next?
And there's been a few times where girls who are falling off or whatever have like tried to like ask me for advice, and it's like, you know, because there is some stuff like, you know, in terms of what social networks you should use or whatever, like how you should promote yourself, what kind of stuff you should post. But, you know, most of it comes down to just how you look. So it's kind of like if your butthole ain't popping, then
sorry,
they're not copping.
Nice.
It was a rap podcast,
great.
so I had to rhyme.
I've been thinking a lot about like the demons and shit like that, especially starting to stream, like seeing how much of religious people watch it. And then there was a specific moment where you texted me with those two girls that you wanted me to do a stream with.
Sky and Rochelle coming soon. Rah rah nups.
And then you were, I was already like on the fence about it. I'm like demons, and I was like thinking about all the satanic stuff that's going on.
Oh,
in the
so
industry.
you actually are on the edge about interviewing two porn stars? Okay.
No. And then
shook.
you word for word texted me like, text them back. They'll suck the soul out of you. And I'm like, demons. Like literally, I was already thinking about like Epstein's Island and the satanic worshiping that they're doing. And so they're gonna suck the soul out of you. And then I looked at their Instagrams, and like every fucking dude in the industry follows them. Like Bryce Hall, all the LA guys follow her. I'm like, okay, she's Nelk girls followed her. I'm like, bro, this is what she does.
They model for them, I think.
They fuck for clout.
Well, that when I told you that they would probably suck the soul out you, I was just being real. Is that I thought you should do content with them, but that also realistically
they could suck the
would
soul out of
probably
you.
fuck you.
Yeah, I mean,
Just me knowing you and like knowing, I feel like you would meet their standards of fucking. Obviously, I shouldn't speak for them in terms of who they would fuck, but I feel like they would give you a good go.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.